Greetings, friends. We live in a culture in which death is left to the margins of our world. We don't see the dying, we rarely see corpses. I only saw my grandmother dead in the casket and my mother dead in the casket before I was in my mid-30s. Now that I've been going to this Orthodox church, I've seen 3 dead people in coffins, open casket. During liturgy, they sometimes leave the deceased there. This is because the Orthodox have a different attitude towards death. We pray in one of the prayers in our prayer book says, "O Lord, grant us remembrance of death," or something to that effect. Remembrance that we are mortal, that we will die, and also that Jesus Christ conquered death through death, and we have the skull at the bottom of the cross. I don't know if you can see it there. The skull is representing the bones of Adam. And when Christ died on the cross, he descended into Hades and brought the gospel to all those who had passed in the Old Testament, and he raised them up, or at least he rose those who were true to God. He raised them up, and he raised up Adam and Eve. He actually took them forcibly by the hand and yanked them out of Hades, as we have seen in some icons. So there is a confrontation with death that we don't like to see in our culture, and even the old, we remove them to retirement homes. And I mean, my own family does this in the case of my grandpa Robert. So we're all, partakers in this aversion to death. I mean, it is a little odd growing up in an Anglo-Canadian background to see dead people in a church service just off to the side, but they're there. It's something that just seemed a bit off to me, but with time I realized that this is actually what we need to see, and they need to be there. It's not a funeral, that's the thing. Maybe they have a funeral too, I don't know, they probably have some burial service. This is not a funeral. This is, you're having the body at the liturgy. But on each of those 3 occasions, although it felt odd, I made sure that I went up to the bodies to view them, to view these people. And I did so. I mean, I guess you could call that paying your respects. I mean, I didn't know these people, but you want to be respectful towards them, of course. But also, I think that it's important to at least see this to some extent. And yes, you are seeing a corpse which has been painted up a little bit. That's the way morticians do things these days. But even to see that, I mean, you know that you're not looking at a living person here. You are looking at something white, and something's falling away. The spirit is fallen away, but the shell is still there. Hard to describe. We don't get that these days. We really don't get that. Because we're not afraid, we're not going to shun the material nature of the body. And we do not believe in cremation. Your body is something special that was given to you by God, and we respect it. And we bury you in a particular way with the arms crossed. There's symbolism there. We do pray for the dead. We pray for the Lord to have mercy on those who are departed. But that's kind of another question, but that's always a contentious one with some Protestants, prayers for the dead. They think it's necromancy. That'll be a subject maybe for another video. But our culture, we remove even suffering, and it's the same reason we flee physical suffering, because we think that, or maybe it does remind us of the meaninglessness of our existence tied to material comforts. Death is a reminder that life is short, that we must struggle to connect with a deeper purpose and serve the good that is within us, and that must be eternal. Hasta luego, amigos.